Hello, class, and welcome to Lesson 8-4, Day 2. Today, strong mathematicians can draw and classify triangles by their angles and sides. Take out your notebook, your pencil, write down today's date, and let's get started. As you know, we're reviewing some words about angles and degrees, the right angle and the straight angle. We don't see a lot of triangles. Acute angles, what you see, and obtuse angles as well. All good review. That's why I keep them on here. Remember, triangle, we have a right triangle has one right angle, an obtuse triangle has one obtuse angle, an acute triangle has three acute triangles. We always can go back and look at what those mean, but I feel right now we have a pretty good idea. Also, our triangles can be based on their sides. We have equilateral of 3 equal sides, isosceles with 2 equal sides, or a scalene triangle that has 0 equal sides. So right now we're going to use the letters to write and talk about triangles. This triangle is set, S-E-T. Can we name its 3 angles and their types? What kind of triangle is? Look at that. I forgot. You see that copy and paste feature? I said scribble this out. Shh, pretend you didn't see anything. Don't tell anyone. Set. There we go. And with that, you can feel free to pause the video and see if you can answer those right now, identifying all the angles. Let's see if you have them. So we're going to start differently. We're going to go this way today. Angle. S-T-E, which would be right here, S-T and E. And we look up, here's this line, this would be where 90 is, so this angle is only there, so this would be an acute angle. I don't even know if I need angle on there. Well, next one, we'll start here. We'll go T to E to S. Here's that line. This would be straight up there as well. So that would be T-E-S, which would also be an acute angle. And last but not least, we're going from EST. This looks like right here would be the right angle, and this goes above it, so this would be angle EST, which would be an obtuse angle. And notice that we should have each one of the vertexes should be a different angle. That means we know we got all 3 of them covered. So what kind of triangle is set? It would be an obtuse, because it's got one obtuse angle. So that's what kind of triangle is. An obtuse triangle. Now you can pause the video again, emphasizing the information of drawing the triangle and really picking out each of the angles, knowing especially how to identify the angles and label the angles. And now we're going to name each triangle by its angles and its sides. So now we're doing not just one part, we're doing both parts together. So I would say it's easier for me to think about looking at the angles first. So if I look at this angle, I can tell that this one looks acute right here, and this one looks acute. This one looks really big. So if I think of where would 90 be, I kind of say, well, that kind of looks right about there. Looks 90, so that would be an obtuse. Obtuse. And then if we look at its sides, I see that there's 2 tick marks. So tick mark here, so these sides are saying that they're equal. Clearly this bottom one is a lot longer. So it would be an obtuse isosceles. I'm missing a letter in there, doesn't look right. Isosceles, that looks better. Isosceles triangle. So notice I've got the sides. I also have the angle to come up with what is the label for that triangle. If you want to, pause the video, see if you can do the next 2 on your own, and then we'll see if your answers match mine. All right, so we've started talking about angles before. This big thing jumps out at me. So right now I know I have a right triangle, and I see also 2 tick marks right here. So this would tell me that I have a right isosceles. And I've right isosceles triangle. Look at that. All different colors. Why not? A right isosceles triangle. Hopefully you got that as well. Let's look at the last one right now. I see this one looks to be an acute, if I can think of my 90. And this one looks acute. And this one looks acute. So I'm going to have an acute because 3 acute angles. Acute. If I look at my marks, it looks like I have 2 tick marks again. I must have a thing for isosceles triangles. Isosceles, and then a triangle. But what I find to be interesting with all these is that notice that even though I have all isosceles, I have an obtuse a right, and an acute triangle just based on the different angles that can be made from these triangles. So you can pause the video right now, write down these examples to help you out. And why not? We just want for some more practice. Because why? The more we practice, the more we can identify these, the better off we are going to be. So you can pause the video right now, see if you can get these all, and see if you can beat me to it. All right, so let's look at the angles right here. It looks like this is acute, and this one looks like, this looks really tough, but I don't see a square. I mean, this looks like, this looks like right there, so this is a little bit more than right. So this would be an obtuse. And now if I look for tick marks, I don't see any tick marks. I know this one looks shorter. These two look relatively close, but this one right here looks to be a little bit longer. So I'm going to say it's an obtuse scalene triangle. Excellent. Let's see what we can do with this one right here. Well, we got, looks like, if I go back, these look really nice if they could all be like that, huh? It looks like these are all, if I think about these lines right here, and this line right here to make a right, and this one to make a right, none of them are right, so it looks like it is an acute. And I see the 3 tick marks right here, boom, boom, and boom. So that tells me it is an acute equilateral. And last but not least, we'll take a look at this one. This one looks acute if I think about my 90 degrees. This one looks acute with my 90 degrees. But this one looks, if I draw my line right here, looks more than 90, so this would be an obtuse. And I don't see any tick marks right here, so it looks like this would be an obtuse scalene. So those are some more examples that you can write down to help you out to determine different types of triangles by not only their angles, but also their sides. And you can draw a big line on your piece of paper right now, and now is the time to do lots of practice. I'd like you to name each triangle, number them 1 through 6, draw them out as well to help you out, and then label them by their angles and their sides. Good luck. And just even more practice. Now we're going to use letters to mix it up a little bit by its angles and its sides, but letter them A through F, draw them out, just as I have them here. Label them by their angles and their sides. That way you have good practice to perfecting the skill of identifying triangles by its angles and sides. And now the final challenge is I'd like you to do the following. I'd like you to make a little table for yourself, but to draw and label each figure. If you can't, explain why. So can you draw a right scalene? Can you draw a right equilateral? Can you draw an obtuse equilateral? Can you draw an obtuse scalene? Can you draw an acute isosceles? And can you draw a right isosceles? I'm curious to see what you come up with, and can you draw them all and label them, or are some of them you just can't draw? And I would like to think about why you might not be able to draw them. Good luck. Looking forward to seeing this section. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to write them down or share them out. Or any other strategies that you use to help you, make sure you share those as well. And thanks again for another great lesson.